November 20th, 2025. We are at the Senior Center in Hadley, the COA, and I'm calling the meeting to order 7:20. All right, I'm going to do a roll call. To my left is
Megan Relin.
I'm Crystal Jackson.
I'm Joanne Godding.
I'm Pat Rissmeyer.
And then on Zoom, we have our two newest members.
Reno Gehring.
And John Gehring.
Thank you guys for showing up again. We appreciate your time and what you are doing for Hadley. Thank you. So we're going to, since we are running time, I'm just going to get through the first couple really quick. I do not have the minutes for October. I will have it for next meeting, so we will be approving 2 months. So to get to number 3, do we have any opening reflections? Megan, I've missed you. Where have you been?
Yeah, let's hear from her.
Busy.
Where have you been?
Busy, just in general or what?
Yeah, yeah.
But I am doing well. I'm really enjoying, so I teach the sociology of eating disorders
Oh, cool.
at UMass
Oh,
Amherst in the
that's
sociology department.
Uh-huh.
And I have been really inspired by students reflecting on sort of the cultural forces that can really cause a lot of disorientation and disconnect us from our bodies and from a sense of self outside of appearance and body shape and size. But we also look a lot at systems of oppression and how different oppressive forces can really contribute to the development and perpetuation of eating disorders. And students have been sharing their own lived experience about eating disorders or other mental health issues and trying to really challenge some of these beliefs about gender, race, bodies, sexuality. And so I really appreciate and enjoy and learn a lot from working with young people. So
That's awesome.
it's
Megan.
very inspiring to me.
That's excellent because our children do need an outlet when they have things that are challenging them in
Yeah.
life. And an eating disorder is a big form of depression sometimes. And if they do not have someone to talk to, people think eating disorder means you're overweight, but an eating disorder can be anorexia as well.
Yeah, right.
So
Oh, yeah.
it's all around affects a person's mental state. So what you're doing is
That's great.
excellent. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
helping our future.
Oh,
You know, that's a good job. Good job.
Nice.
So anyone else have any opening reflections? Nope.
Yeah, we
Okay.
finished our training. So in the
you.
UMass or in the state of Massachusetts system. So
What type of training was it?
well,
It's
it was some required training.
it's mandatory training when you come on to a committee.
Oh, that-
So, and
yes.
it was pretty
Yeah.
long. So
Oh, I
That
know,
one.
the conflict of interest
Yes.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Conflict of interest, that was it, yes.
Yeah, I see which training. I thought you meant a physical training that you had to go through maybe for a company. Okay.
No,
Gotcha.
no.
Yeah.
For the
Okay,
state, for the state.
Yeah,
Right.
that's good. And you should now be in the system. So if you were to go on another board that needs that to be done, you've already done it. So you don't have to do it again unless it expires. So that's pretty good. Okay, anyone else? No? Okay, so we're going to go to old business. So what I did, we're going to discuss, did you receive the agenda, Renu? Okay, good. Last month, we spoke lightly on the Hadley World Fair. The last time it was done was in 2023. And for 2026, I wanted to do it again. But try to make it a bigger event. So this way, it's not just cultural dishes and everyone sitting at the senior center. I do not know how it was the previous years, but next year, I would like to have the children involved, the seniors involved, the in-betweens involved. So I did reach out to Jennifer at Town Hall and brought the idea to her, and she was like, awesome, especially about changing the name. because I'm trying to make it, since it's going to be a different type of event, it's the same focal points, but expanded. I'm looking to change the name to
Mhm.
something different, and Jennifer was like, that's a great, thing that you're doing, and she has hooked me up or, spoken to Amy at the Parks and Rec.
Oh, nice.
So now
Oh,
I
yeah.
can speak with her and see what we can do. You never know, maybe we'll have it at a park,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
so to have.
block party kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's like a big,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
giant get
Yeah.
together,
Oh,
we'll
nice.
have games, it's outside,
That's
people,
great.
can, of all ages can enjoy themselves. So I'm going to speak with Amy, and when I have more information, I'm going to bring it back to the committee and see what we can do with it. I'm really looking forward to that, just bringing something new to the town and making it a brighter, occasion
Mhm.
for everyone, so that's what I'm thinking about doing.
Nice.
Do we set a proposed date or
Not yet,
approximate date? Okay.
because I think the last time we spoke, I asked did anyone file for the application for a grant, and no one did, so we didn't come up with
Okay,
a date. I
okay.
think we just left off with the name. And that was old business A. For B, updates on the Vesta housing situation. So I haven't attended the last couple of meetings because I've had other things that actually have taken priority.
Yeah.
But I have been informed, and what's happening is they have formed their own committee now. So they're, someone from No One Leaves is still helping them, but they're more like a tenants association now, which is good because, they have something to lean on. So that's all I would have about that. I don't have any other information as I stopped going to the meetings for the past couple of weeks. But I can definitely reach out to someone else. Michelle, she's part of it as well, and Deborah Levinson. So I can always
Oh,
reach
yeah.
out to them and ask them if they had any information regarding what's going forward. I had created an email for Vesta to use, but now since they're having their own, they want to change the email. But I have to give them the password for the other email that I created, and I forgot. So I have to find it because I gave it to them. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, here we go. But now, so I have to get back to them. So if you're watching, you'll get it. Okay, so now we can move on to new business. Pat, you're going to give a report on the movies.
Yes.
We have Orford in collaboration with the Senior Center, which is this right here.
Yes.
Right.
Did you and John, did you get this? It's attached to an email.
Oh, good,
Okay,
good.
great. So I'm very happy to give a report on the films, the movies that this committee has co-sponsored mostly with the Senior Center. There was one that we co-sponsored with the library over the last 2+ years, starting in 2023 and starting in 2022 and continuing to date. And I've organized them by holiday or month, so that we can see the actual occasions that we have co-sponsored movies on. And you'll see there are 4 categories: Black History Month films in the month of February, Juneteenth films in the month of June, LGBTQ Pride Month films in June, and then Indigenous Peoples Day in October. And over this period of time, we've co-sponsored 11 movies. I have the titles of those films and the year that the film was produced in parentheses.
Yeah.
And then the date on which we offered the film and the place. There's one film that I know we showed. It's called Pride. I don't know exactly when. I can't find any record of it in any of the annual reports. I did talk with Sarah. Sarah and I both remember watching it.
Right,
So
yeah,
I just placed Pride June 2022.
right.
I'm not sure that's the date, but it would have been for Pride. It was the
Yeah.
first Pride film
Yeah.
that we showed.
Right.
I also want to note that none of these films except one was facilitated. And I actually think that the one that was best received was the one that in fact, was facilitated by Megan.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Growing Up Trans. It was a frontline show and it was excellent. And I thought it was great that we had someone there who could facilitate the conversation afterwards. The rest of the films were shown and someone might stand up and say, what did you think? You know, but not any in-depth facilitation. And I point that out because I think going forward, one of the things we might want to talk about is having a knowledgeable speaker attached to the film. Because I think that will add a little more depth to the experience. And we don't have to do it on the same day. We could, depending on the length of the film, but that's something that I think would enhance this educational effort. And then the last thing I would say is that this film series is consistent with our mission statement, which was developed when we were first formed in, this was approved in 2021, that our focus would be to promote awareness and strategies to address issues related to anti-racism, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and to advise, promote, and foster the development of policies and programs directed towards anti-racism, diversity, and, you know,
And this is what.
and this,
these do.
this came out of that, objective and goal.
Right, right.
So that would be my update. We also talked about the last film that we showed. We had people who had never come before, and one of the attendees asked if we had ever done anything for for Women's History Month. And so we have that on the agenda tonight to brainstorm.
Yeah.
You know, we've worked in partnership to select these and implement them. Violet, who's now the interim director of the senior center, has been just the best partner. And I
Right.
checked with her
Yeah.
a few days ago to see if she wanted to continue that partnership. She said, absolutely.
Great.
I did also mention to her that we had a request for something for Women's History Month, and she actually proposed 2 dates we could have.
Good,
We want to
good.
do that in
Okay.
2026.
Yes, that's good.
Um,
That's good.
But I would say this has been a joy for me to take the lead on, but I am happy if someone else wants to take the lead
Stop trying to.
or wants to partner, because it's really a fun, rewarding, experience to
Yes.
do this. And we have some people who come all the time
Yeah.
for the films, and then we
Yeah.
have new people come.
Yeah.
And Joanne has been to a
I've
number
been
of
to a few
them.
of them,
And
yeah.
I don't know if you want to add anything, and you too, Megan, and Crystal, you as well.
I think what I got to.
Well, I think it's wonderful that the DEI does this, because being that we are a small town, we are doing our best to promote diversity and inclusion in this town. And when you look at the titles of these movies, I'm not sure that the public can view it, but I can read off some of the titles. And Summer of Soul, High on the Hog, How African American Cuisine Transformed America, Season 2, Episode 1, A Great Day in Harlem. And then for Juneteenth, that what I just mentioned was for Black History Month, 2023, 2024, and then 2025. Juneteenth, High on the Hog, Season 1, Episode 4, and that was in 2022. High on the Hog, Season 1, Episode 4. We showed it again in this year on June 20th. And then we have the LGBTQ Pride Month, which is in June. And we had Pride the movie, Growing Up Trans, that Megan hosted, which was awesome.
good.
And then for Indigenous Peoples Day, which is in October, we had the movie Gather. That was in October of 2022. People of a Feather, which is survival in the Canadian Arctic, 2023. Chickasaw Rancher, 2024. And then Fry Bread, Face and Me. also when Pat said she was going to bring this, it gave me an idea. So I printed it out, and of course I don't have it, so I'll have it next meeting. But it's a list for everything that happens each month of the year
Oh, nice.
regarding diversity and inclusion and equity. So I had printed it out and I wanted to discuss it, and maybe starting in January, we can do something each month for the purpose of whichever is being celebrated. I noticed there were Filipino, there's
Yeah.
Filipino. So there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that we, especially in the day and age that we're in, I really want everyone to feel included. Because at this time, everywhere you look, the movies, the TV shows, what you hear, everyone is separated. So for anyone, you know, I think just being able to see that might make them feel a little bit more appreciated and inclusive. So I will bring that paper on next month in December, and we can all discuss, because it starts in January and we can start to roll it all around here. And I just think it would be nice to do that for people. Did you have any ideas, Renu?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely, I agree that having a facilitator would help. And both John and I are um, board members at PFLAG, which is definitely an LGBTQIA plus advocacy and education group. So, and we could, help facilitate movies, women's history is definitely a possibility and big interest. And then I think John's idea was more Latino a month. So yeah, I would definitely be interested. We would definitely be interested in participating in a monthly movie showing.
Okay, that would be awesome. Thank you. Just to let you know that most of the time, these movies are shown during the day.
Yeah.
So like, it would be, like by 12 o'clock in the afternoon, between 12 and 1 on a Friday, right?
That's true,
Yeah.
Crystal, except we did show a movie at the Hadley Public Library at 7.
Okay.
So if we expand the months that we celebrate,
Yeah,
I think we should expand the time frame
there we
too.
go, yeah.
Because we have a senior audience for these, but we're not reaching kids. We're not, so I think just expanding the time frame would be good too.
That would be great. That's a good idea. This way, and since we're adding more to the list, we can come up with different events to coincide with these events. I mean, different entertainment or whatever we'd like to bring, food or whatever. Just like you said, we want to include more people. Right. So that would be awesome. And then we can, broadcast it ahead of time so that it can go out there, that people besides the senior center can be aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done some collaboration with Hopkins Academy. And they may be interested in partnering with us on some films too.
Exactly.
As well. So library, Hopkins, senior center.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's why when I bring the list, we'll be able to have more of an idea of where we're going, because I was just like, wow, I didn't even know that. It's so amazing. Every month, celebrate something. And that's pretty awesome. And good. Okay.
I'll just add that I appreciate that you brought up to just share the depth of what we've done, and certain new members, that's nice to know. And I just remember, and since we were on the committee from the very beginning, trying to find something we could do that was actually doable for a small committee with no funds.
Right.
And I think this is one thing we've landed on. And I want to appreciate you for the work. You haven't done all of it, but you can tell this is something that you really enjoyed and are committed to. And I appreciate that. I think we all do. So, yeah. Thank you.
So did you find what Pat was asking you to look up, remember, with the movies? You had asked her to find something, and then I started talking to Renew while she was looking. I think it was something about the movie. You said this, maybe, Joanne and Megan can have some insight of when they were at the movie, the matinee.
Oh, I think you're talking about when you said that because I attended a few of them.
Right, if there was anything that you
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to add about the
yeah, something.
experience
Yeah.
of being at the movie or
Right.
interacting with
Yeah,
people.
Yeah.
I remember for sure going to Growing Up Trans.
Mhm.
And I remember that I had to leave when she facilitated,
Mm.
but that was a really informative film.
Mhm.
And I'm sure I put notes about how many people came, but it seemed like there was a good dozen or so.
So you only went to that one and the one that Pat spoke about?
I know that, but I think I went to one or two others. I
You
just
did,
am
yeah.
not.
Oh, you don't?
I know I wanted to go to a Great Day in Harlem, and I was going to be out of town, and I've seen Summer of Soul, which is really good. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, they were good.
I guess then we can move on
Okay.
to discuss, Black History Month matinee. And I mentioned maybe for Black History Month, since we're only going to be one day, if there was anything that we as a committee can do to focus on the achievements of African Americans in society, past and present. You know, this way it brings out the positive of what African Americans have done in society, just as we're going to do every other month for Latins, Asians, Filipino, you know. So I want to start it off with, I believe there's something in January, I have to check, but I know we can definitely start in February and just somehow bring up some information or a poem or a story, something that's relevant to the achievements, you know, to bring a highlight on that.
So Amherst Survival Center, well, I know it's in Amherst, but they do something every month, and along with a themed lunch, they will do, like for Black History Month, they had a collection of, they had a little booklet, it may be about 10 pages, and it was poems, or they will have, and at each of the tables, they'll have a poster, or they'll have movies. For example, for Chinese New Year, there is a few dancers at UMass who come and perform. So it's something I could look into if we could tap into some of those resources.
Thank you. Nice. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Reno. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, that would be a nice, another outlet, you know, another resource, as you stated, to try to assist with us getting the, you know, the entertainment and the message out about the achievements of every culture and race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let
Oh,
us.
can I add something or?
Yes,
Black
oh.
History Month. Well, I don't know if we're discussing particular movies, but for Black History Month, I liked the movie about the women who computed the trajectories
Yeah.
for the
Love that
Apollo
movie.
program.
Yeah,
Hidden Figures, I think.
those
Figures.
were
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It featured 3 Black women.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
That's a good
A
film.
great suggestion, yeah, love that.
there's another a movie, one moment. There was a movie that I did last year. I mean, excuse me, when I did Black History Month at the library. There were books that I had out, and there was one book that I took out. Women Ate. I can't remember the name of it, but it was during the army, I believe, or First World War, and the soldiers were not able to get letters home or receive letters from family members and loved ones. And the thing is, they had boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of letters that these soldiers have written to their family and loved ones, and no one could take the task on. So they hired a group of Black women from the service to take on that challenge to mail these letters out to the family members, because there was one woman, she literally went to the president's house and stood outside the gate in the rain for days because she has not heard from her son, who is in the service. And these African-American women took on the task, and of course they were laughed at and they were told, you can't do it. We'll give you 3 months to get millions and millions of letters. You won't do it. They did it, I believe, in a month and a half.
Yeah.
So it was amazing, and it really inspired the troops. It brought their character up,
Yeah.
and they performed better. So what is the figure eight? I have to find the name of it, but I really want to have that as well as a movie to see, because it's really the 688. That's the name of the movie, the 688 with Kerry Washington.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, so it was a really, I did not know that even happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never knew that. And they played a huge part in history because of the letters, and the soldiers getting that information from home made them feel so much better, you know, and then the parents and the single moms of children, of sons who are gone, you know. So that was a great movie too. It was good. It was on Netflix, and that's what made me actually look at the book to see if the library had it, and they did. They ordered it, and I set it up. So it was a lot of, you know, quite a few people had, you know, questions about it, and they wanted to know more about it, which was great.
So would we decide what we're gonna do at our next meeting? Would that be? Yeah, I know if
I
it's
think we can
if
at
it's
the
at
next meeting.
at the senior center, I know to get it into their newsletter, I don't know how far ahead
You
you
have to do it 30 days before, so we have plenty of time.
Okay,
We talk about it in December.
Great.
So we're going to talk about Women's History Month in March. If you guys would like to elaborate on that.
Well, I will just say that the dates that Violet proposed for a film at the senior center are March 6th and March 20th, both Fridays. And the movies are at either 12:15 or 12:30. So those dates she has open for us.
Okay.
Do we have any idea of what movie you may want to put in? Do we? Not yet?
I was actually thinking of Hidden Figures.
That's a good movie.
It is.
John proposed that for Black History Month too.
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie, so
Yeah.
I think
For
either.
women.
You can go for
Right.
either one.
Definitely, we can look into the AAA, because just like Hidden Figures, they did a good job as well for history and for society, you know. It's so much that's talked about, that's not talked about, and that's why for Black History, I want us to touch on things that that African Americans have achieved in history, future, past, present. We had a Black president. That's history, you know.
So Women's History Month is March.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's lists, like I just went to look very quickly of like film recommendations for Women's History Month, and there's
Nice.
tons
Oh, yeah.
of, I
I
mean,
bet.
there's tons of information. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. I don't know if you've read that book, but
That's crazy what
story of-
happened to her.
Yeah, so
Wow.
there's a lot that we
Wow.
could look at.
Gotta be a lot of years ahead here.
And,
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And
But, yeah.
again, that's in March,
Mhm.
so it gives us some time to look, you know, and all
Okay.
collaborate on a movie that we can all agree on. Because there are so many good
Yeah.
movies out there, and I'm so glad we're doing that this year, because we
Yes.
haven't done this.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
glad we're doing that, you know, everyone's included, so
Mhm.
this is, we're expanding.
And I would like to suggest that somebody, not tonight, but somebody take February and somebody take March.
Good idea.
And I will help, I will
Yeah.
help prepare.
Okay.
So that's a good
Okay.
idea.
Yeah.
So maybe in the next meeting, we can decide on who would like to take up those roles. And this way we can have it, you know, this time and work on it. That's a good idea. We can definitely, talk about that in December.
Mhm. And by that also, Pat, you mean like kind of being the host?
Being the host, right,
Yeah.
Right,
yeah, somebody for each month, but I can walk people through it.
Yeah.
okay. And someone knows how to, you know how to do the technology,
We have help.
you have help,
Violet helps with that.
okay.
Yeah, so she's usually present or
Yeah,
someone present to
Yeah,
help.
there's
with
always
that.
someone that's from here is always there
Yeah.
if you needed help.
And I would just say that it's a beautiful screen. It's a nice screen, even if you've seen the movie, unless you have a huge screen in your home. But if you don't, to see the film in this facility here
Yeah,
is a really great experience.
It's wonderful. It's really nice. It's a somber experience, you know, everyone sitting there and watching the movie. All we need is some popcorn,
I bring,
some cheese bread.
I bring my lunch. Great.
So the D, potential speakers related to yearly acknowledgements of different cultures or history, like women's, I think we just spoke about that.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking
Yeah.
into now. So I think that can be added as part of C.
Yeah, all together.
Is there anyone who has any ideas for any guests you may think of that? So what you can do is anyone that you feel that has made a mark or is making a mark in society, regarding DEI, you can ask them if they'd like to come as a guest. And they can come in person or it can be on Zoom. We've had a few guests that have come and spoken about their achievements with DEI or achievements with bringing awareness to certain things that include different cultures and races. If you wanted to just get an idea, you can go onto the Hadley website and go to the DEI. You'll be able to see the meeting minutes and the agenda, which will give you an idea of what they spoke about and who they were. So if you guys come across anyone that you'd like to ask, you would bring it to us the month before so that we can discuss it, or maybe 2 months ahead so that we can discuss it and research it and all come to an understanding and conclusion of, yes, this is who we would think would be good for our town.
Do we have so at PFLAG, we also have guest speakers and we have a policy of giving them a sort of a stipend to say thank you. Do we have that here?
No, this would be volunteer. This would be just them wanting to share their experience to get the information out.
We have no budget.
But we could, going forward, apply for a grant,
No,
not for speakers.
it's over with. You had to.
No, but I'm talking about
For
future years.
27.
Right.
Oh, yes. Well, the thing is, the Cultural Council, when you apply for a grant, it's mostly for entertainment. So it's not, so this speaker would have to speak to the town. I don't think the Culture Council will pay for someone to come here.
No, I meant, I was jumping to the bigger issue of potential speakers for I was on D, sorry. For
Okay.
different, not
Oh,
for the meeting,
gotcha.
I was.
Okay.
I see.
Because I thought,
No,
okay,
No, she's on E.
yeah, we were.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was on D, I was behind. I was
That's-
thinking about potential
that's what-
speakers for the town,
Okay.
not for us.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that happens, also, if you wanted to do that, you could speak with Patrick. I know the library pays people to do things like that. So if you did find someone and, you speak to Patrick about it and see if it's something suitable, then they may sponsor it. And then that's when they would get paid. But as far as our committee, we're just volunteer. We do not have a budget. I mean, if we did want to do something and pay, I think as Mark said before, we would have to bring it to the town ahead of time, like by January or something of the following. So if it's going to be for next year, we have to go by January, I think, to request some funding. But the way things are, I don't think we would do that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have anything for the future speakers? Does anyone have any ideas right now? If not, we can always
Do we want an update on the affordable housing project?
Well, you mean the Econo Lodge? So at the meeting, I went to the housing economic, there isn't an update, yeah. We don't have any information or anything on, what's happening. Right now, it's just a little, pause, not pause, but there's another, development going on. So what they're considering is keeping the Econo Lodge right now as Craig stores for the winter so that the homeless can have somewhere to stay.
Okay.
And then maybe possibly next year sometime, we'll have more information about the Econo Lodge. But right now, there isn't any information. It's still going to stay as Craig stores.
Okay, thank you.
But there was talks about, where Mitiera is, and remember I was telling you about that area for senior housing? There was talk about that moving forward, but we're waiting for permits, I guess, or talks. I'm not sure. I'll write it down next time, and I'm just really tired right now.
We had talked about Anika Lopes, founder of executive director of Ancestral Bridges, right? As a possible guest at some point.
Remember, I wrote in there, we don't need to bring that up because I haven't spoken.
Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
responded to you.
I
Forgot.
Yeah, for sure.
I know, right?
It was just gone, and so I.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
nothing to report yet. Cool.
Yeah, that's why I told you, I said I haven't spoken to her, we need to bring it up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. So how about any ideas for end of year events? I mean, December is next month. I don't even know if we have any brain power left for, because it's right before Christmas, and I think Joanne puts that on the ideas
What?
for end of year
I
events.
didn't.
No,
That was news.
that's always been on there?
No, I didn't put ideas for end of year events.
Oh, I thought you created the agenda.
I did, but I don't remember putting any end of year event. We've never done that before.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, whatever the case may be.
It was an
it's
L.
on the agenda. Don't know.
It's
What
actually
we
on
could
the,
talk about.
on the
because-
October agenda.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Santa's elves.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Or the fairies.
Uh-huh. Probably
Other
that.
ideas for ends to end October, it says any other ideas for events to end the year with.
It was the elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
But
You know what's crazy? I was looking at stuff to do in Connecticut and literally they have a ferry property where you go and they have little arrangements of houses and stores and cars and it's just so adorable. And they show two little kids playing and it's talking about fairies really live here.
Oh,
And I said, that is so cute. I would love to go there just to see the expression on little kids' faces, they have such big imaginations. They might even see some fairies. Now we take a picture of there. Okay, well, referrals for new members. I mean, at this point, I don't think we have any referrals, unless you do.
I'd be telling you. I'd be telling.
well, we're always really delighted with new members.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
anybody has any ideas.
New ideas.
Yes.
Neighbors, friends, yeah.
Anyone that lives in Hadley and would like to be on the committee and would love to sit through these meetings and just go over things to help us try to expand on enlightenment. Well, this is the open agenda. If anyone has anything to say, they can definitely say it now. If you're feeling anything, if you'd like to regard anything, you can definitely say it now. This is the open agenda, so we can speak our minds. Okay. Well, closing reflections. Anyone have anything for that? No? All righty then.
So grateful for warm clothes on cold days.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. I noticed too that the gas is going up. Last week, gas in South Hadley was $2.71 a gallon for regular. Now it's $2.84. I mean, in 1 week, it jumped up 13 cents. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's in South Hadley. So if it's cheap there, but it's 284, I can imagine. I didn't even see what it was here yet. And, you know, going further north, you know, so. Like you said, let's pray for warm clothes in this
Mhm.
season, because a lot of people don't have a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, well, I would like to adjourn the meeting, but I need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Okay, Pat,
I'll second that.
okay, and Joanne, Pat, first. Okay, and all in favor?
I.
Okay.
All right,
Bye.
all right.